Welcome, welcome. Welcome to your international podcast, guys. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday. How you all be? How you all there? How you all at? Do let us know, good people, who we have with us today. Folks, I'm privileged to have it. I thank you for asking. I'm privileged to have with me Trisha Finance, my co-host today.
Hey guys, how are you doing? What's going on at your end?
What happening? What's going down?
What's going on?
What's happening on the ground? Gail Watson, we see you, Gail, and Pamela Sanchari. We see you, Dolores Dover. Dolores is ready for below the belt. Claire Capel is here as well. John Jones, good afternoon, John. Wilma Grant, I know I made you really look twice when I said John.
I know, I'm always looking around with that name.
Yeah. Beatrice Selby, John. Wesley Ward, Bridget Campbell, Carl Fordyce, Angeli Abrams. Good to have you guys. And then to John again, John. Sherlyn Juicer Tendry is here. Guys, good to have you. Lots of things happening. Quinton Bacchus is still a big feature in the media, folks. We have an update for you. It's getting tetanus, people. It's getting tetanus.
It's getting crazy.
Yep. But at least we forget, folks. Even though we're going to be touching on the Quinton Bacchus case, the murder of Quinton Bacchus, we also going to be touching on the pink slips, the cash grants. You got your pink slip still? Do you have your pink slip still? Folks, when people try to make you fool, it's a pink slip, they're trying to pink slip you,
Again.
It's pink slip you, they're trying to pink slip you yet again. But good to have you guys, each and every one of you. I want to say it in a braggadocious way, but we love having you guys here. Bigly. We love having you guys here, Bigly. Sharon Grant, good to see you. Savitri Zal. Savitri, how you doing? How was the weekend? How did the week start? Hope you're fired up, Savitri Zal. Hope you're ready to go. Good to have you here as well.
Savitri is always fired up.
Mm-hmm.
Always fired up.
Firecracker.
I'm telling you, that's the way it is. Don't get between Savitri and these programs.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. Beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. Sukhchan Sudhari. Good to see you, Sukhchan Sudhari. Savitri Zal and Muriel King. Good to have you. Alicia Motilal. Good to have you, Alicia Motilal. Gail Watson and Shavane. Good to have you, Shavane Anthony. Yep. Drita Rock can come in.
Hi guys, how are you doing? Like Shara just said, least we forget. That's what we're looking at every single Tuesday. And today we're just going to be reminding you of the system that the PVP utilized for the COVID cash grants and the conditionalities that they applied there, and what we're seeing here if that has been transpired currently as it pertains to the school cash grant and the conditionalities that they're pulling out as it pertains to the distribution of that also. We're going to be tying it in, reminding you of the way in which they operate and the bureaucratic structures that they put in place that basically is designed to foster corruption. Yeah.
Whole pack of nonsense, them boys, right? But we out here, Donna Liverpool, Muriel King, Brenda Bowman, Wilma Grant, we outside, Dorrit David, we outside Shondell Moses. How are you guys doing? Folks, the weather's a little tingish in the city.
Tingish.
It's a little tingish in the city.
Way.
That's the way. I'm certain you guys know what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm going to say the whole thing. It's a little tingish. It's a little tingish. And weather.com, our trusted source for news on the weather, they're telling us at this end, folks. Wait for it. They're telling us it's 26 degrees outside.
I like the weather when it's not hot. I don't like the heat too much. I don't know about anyone else, but I don't like the heat too much. It doesn't go well with me. I'm most miserable when the place is hot. Like, give me the rain any day.
Totally accurate. You say it's 28 degrees outside, an 18% chance it's going to rain. It's raining, folks.
Yeah.
And it feels like 31 degrees. Yep. Feels like 28 to me, but we're gonna be thankful for what we got. So we're tracking a number of things, folks. A number of things we're tracking in this little bowl of confusion powder we got, color country. a number of things, of which Quentin Bacchus is one. We're tracking what's happening with the cash grants, you know. Guys, if you still got a pink slip in hand or you got a pink slip story, WhatsApp us 6276963. I want to hear your pink slip story. Lest we forget, a lot of people still holding pink slips. It's a pink slip government. It's a pink
They
slip
never
regime.
got back to them. They never ever got back to those folks. You know, with everything that they said, they have moved on as though those folks doesn't exist, as though they never issued pink slips for them to come back to and deal with those persons. That's the way in which they operate, and we must never forget this. Never forget it.
Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. Lots to do. Lots to do, Gwen Anderson and Marilyn Thomas. I want to know your pink slip story. You got a pink slip? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. You got a pink slip? Holding still? Promise, they say, is a comfort or fool. I know we got some very sensible people here because we big. We big, but we got we sense. We got we things. Right? We got common sense and we got the other stuff. Right? We are people with we things. Good to have you, Fitz Gulliver. Fitz, how you doing? I see. Is it Sa or Sue? Capet. Sa Capet.
It's Coppin. Oh, sure, Coppin.
Yep, yep, yep. Lots of things happening. I see Timothy Mortimer is here. Mortimer Timothy. Shundell Moses. Kim Walker.
And is this Anna Gordon? I also see you there. Anna Gordon says she's hungry, by the way. You know, somebody needs to. I see Fitz Gulliver joining us also, and Cheryl also there. June Beresford. Hey June, how are you doing? And Shundell Moses with that dancing emoji over there. Good afternoon to Sheena Hazel, and good afternoon to Paulette Kippins, all you wonderful folks joining us this minute. They always take the time out to spend this hour with us during your lunch break, wherever you are. A lot of you joining us from work. I'm very, very conscious of that fact, and I'm always happy to have you with us in the midday hours. You know, we have so much to discuss. I see it's up to you, Brian, and always, yes, Brian, it's up to you to call the people out to share the stream to make sure you are part of the sharing of information.
Yes.
Very, very important, guys.
Boots
Very
on the
important.
ground, John King. Boots on the ground, Alex Boom. And
Alright.
Vincent.
Yep.
And all the other guys. Good to have you. Good to have you on the live. Good to have you on the live. Good to have you on the live, folks. We're looking good, and we said we got lots of information to share with you. If you got a WhatsApp, you got if you got a pink slip story, we want to hear from you on WhatsApp. You got a pink slip story, we love to hear from you. Brief, nice and to the point.
Yeah, but when we're looking at the list, we forget. And when you talk about the pink slips, folks, you would remember when the COVID cash grant was the big announcement that the cash grant was going to be shared out. Everyone said to every household. That was a statement made. Every household. And then thereafter, you heard all the conditions coming with it. Oh, if there are two families living in the house, then they need to go and inspect to see if you have a separate kitchen.
Oh,
and
the one
so
go wash your
forth.
report.
Right, and then they were saying that you need to have proof of ownership of the property, and then they said only one property per yard.
Wow.
And it went
Wow.
from one
It's changing.
nonsense to the next, and that's what happened when they try to complicate the system. And the bureaucratic structure as they put in place was basically designed for corruption. And at every stage, every corner of the distribution of that grant, there was corruption being reported throughout the length and breadth of this country. And it is not something that we should forget at any point in time.
Yeah.
And I'm saying specifically that, guys, and I want to and I want to bring it into perspective today when we're talking about the distribution of the school cash grant. Now, guys, you will remember that none other than the Minister of Education had a big announcement that the school cash grant is going to be I think $30,000. Big announcement after the budget was debated and read in National Assembly, so passed. And at this point in time, then we're going to hear, they're going to add a condition to it that if you don't return the school textbooks, then you would not be able to uplift that money. And I have, and
There's a little wickedness.
I have an issue with that, because least we forget what happened and the double standard that existed when it comes to the cash grant distribution. We're not going to go down that pathway again. And I want to say that the money that was budgeted for every child. It was budgeted for every child and approved in the National Assembly without any conditionality. And folks, that's the way it was budgeted, and no conditionality should be added at this point in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that specifically because if you add that condition as they're trying to do right now, it will lead to another set of corruption. When you have different personalities being placed in charge of a system for the distribution, it is going to go to a system of friends, family, and favorites. That,
Correct.
oh, if my
Correct.
friend child or a textbook or so, no, look, we're going to still give you the money. But if somebody that they're not in favor with has an
Oh,
outstanding textbook, no,
like
they're
Big
going to
Children.
be withholding that. And that is the system that was so blatantly misused when, well utilized, the corrupt system that was utilized in the distribution of the cash grant. And we cannot forget when they add complexities to the system, this is what they're opening the
Yep.
doors for.
Yep.
We have had, and I want to say that I always support systems in place when it comes to return of textbooks and so forth. And we have had systems in place for a very, very long time when it comes to textbooks being returned. And if that needs to be tightened up, then so be it. If you need to say, well, a child moving from grade 1 to grade 2, they haven't returned their textbooks from grade 1, you're not going to give them any textbooks when they go to grade 2, then that is something I'm going to support wholeheartedly. Let them bring back the textbooks they had from grade 1 before they do. If they want to move to another school, before you sign off on that transfer, have them return the textbooks. And as it is right now, the students that are exiting secondary school, they can't even they can't collect their results unless they return all the textbooks. So there are systems in place for those things to happen. We cannot conflate the issues. We cannot go mixing masses. The monies were budgeted for every student. And at no point in time should we accept right now that you're going to add conditionalities to that set of money. It's not acceptable. It doesn't make sense. And we have to wake up. And this is not something that affects any specific section of society or any specific area. This is not a PPP stronghold versus a coalition stronghold issue. This is a matter that we need to look at through a very structured approach, and we cannot go forward with anything that is put in a platform for corruption.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely.
Let me hear your thoughts,
Yeah.
and I always say you
If
don't
you
have
got
to
some
agree,
big
you
slip
know.
stories you want to hear about them too, send us a brief. You got a big slip story? Tell us briefly if you had a big slip story. Tell us briefly. We want to hear from you. Send us a voice note 627-6963. Yep. Will you pink slip that? That's what we want to know. That's what we want to know. Will you pink slip that? I think we do have one. And somebody sent us some text that says, again, the pink slip expire. The pink slip expired. I think we might have one. Let me see what we have here. Somebody said the pink slip expired. It is expired. Yep.
Yeah, Sharon. This pink slip thing, this thing is a flumbery instead people left on. You understand? They just sharing away pink slip to fool people and let people be pink slip. You understand? These jagabats and think now what much months gone. Let people with a pink slip in your hand and never return back for thing. But yesterday they go to box and would tell people crap, but they reach outreach and all kind of madness. These people they on a gimmick and a show. You understand me? The supporters them, they're finding cash for give them. But other people who support them, they're giving them pink slip. Oh yeah, stand down, stand down. These people get a rude awakening. But they think people stupid. People could only be stupid for a time, but not all the time. You can't fool me all the time. Sharon, now you're hearing that Quintus Bacchus, the police is saying that Quintus Bacchus is shooting behind them. Now you're hearing the court not too long ago on Travis Chase that the court prosecutor said that the gun that Quintus Bacchus had never was working, was never functioning. So now you see how these jagabats separate and think, and watch how they're getting skin up every single day. So let me see how they're going to deal with these criminals from now because these were shoot backers. They are criminals. They're no longer police officers. They no longer got confidence in the law or have confidence in them no more.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot there, a lot there, a lot there.
That is correct. A person continue to share your opinion with us. Very good comments coming in there, and I have to agree with what the man is saying. When it comes to the pink slips in particular, persons are very aware what is going on. These persons are using this system to do what they want. They're using this system to steal money. That is my opinion.
Mm-hmm. A lot here to look at, folks. A lot here. You got a pink slip story. We want to hear from you. We would like to hear from you. Please and thank you, guys. Please and thank you. WhatsApp us if you can. Send us a short voice. No, 627 rather.
Yeah.
6963.
I heard so many stories. I could share some of the stories that I heard myself, and these are things you just can't make them up. I know particular communities that persons went into and was like reading like a riot act. You have to have this and you have to show proof of ownership of the property, and it doesn't matter if you were living downstairs and your mother living upstairs. One set of money being given to the entire house and all of that. And then there were the reports coming in from areas that were the PPP strongholds, as we refer to them, in which persons, if the man and all three his children collect separate monies, living in the same house. So the biasness that was
Yeah,
utilized in
it's
that
real.
system altogether. Persons walking around just stopping at you gate. Some people going home to the persons that had to distribute the monies did not even go into their homes to check to see if they have any separate living quarters, not asking for any proof of ownership of the buildings and all sorts of things. And guys, we need to be very smart in our approach and the way in which we look at these policy measures and the directives that they're taking, especially when they have one standard when it comes to the budgetary process. And then when they move forward from that process, they start to add conditionalities and try to add complexity to the issue altogether. Those things are added specifically and they are designed specifically so that the system can be corrupt. That's what it is.
Correct is right. Correct is right. Talk the things, MP. Talk the things.
Oh goodness,
Talk the things.
sometimes it's so much.
Yep. Why is it months later people still holding pink slip?
Yes, you would remember, the budget was in, guys, and another thing, the budget was in February. The budget was in February. We are hearing a big announcement now that the cash grant for the school children will be shared out from July, which is this month. And guess what? Those students that are coming out of secondary school, they're not being considered to receive any of those monies because now they're being considered exit students. And if the money was shared out, say in March or April, they would have been right there. So they waited until school is closed so that they don't have to give any of those fifth form students coming out anymore because now they are exit students. Oh my goodness. Wake up, people. Wake up.
Yep. We waking up. We waking up. We waking up. That's what's going down, folks. That's what's going down. See, we have another contributor. Let's see if we have. Want to hear about these pink slips? Because a lot not right with the cash grants. A lot. Whether it's COVID cash grant or otherwise. Lots is not well. Lots not well at all.
Yes, you have to have a system in place. When we're talking about these distributions, and the first question, the question I always ask is about the distribution mechanism and that they're going to utilize when distributing these things, because at no point in time could it be done the way in which they're doing it, and that they continue to do it with the utilization of, when it comes to the COVID cash grant, they utilize their political operatives on the ground to go around and basically marginalize and blatantly discriminate against persons that they perceive not to be supporters of their political party and all of those things. But we have to have a system in place that protects the people so that there is a fairness in the distribution of these resources. And when you take away that balance and that protection mechanism from it, you leave it in the hands of persons to do as they very well please. And I am not in support of that. I'm not in support in any system that gives power to individuals that that gives a power for them to be able to marginalize against persons on the ground. It should never be the case.
Correct is right. Correct is right. I support you there. Talk to us.
We can't conflate matters. We have to be very real about our conversation. We can't conflate matters. But the budget was passed in the National Assembly. The money was allocated there for the distribution of the cash grant to every student. At no point in time can we conflate that and mix it with textbooks. There are different systems in place, and there always have been systems in place for the return of textbooks and so forth, right? We cannot do that. Let us be real right about now. These matters. It's just, and I'm noticing so many comments around the place, and I know a lot of persons like sometimes mean so well when it comes to the yes, we know that textbooks needs to be returned. And that. Guys, at no point in time at the level of the National Assembly did we say, oh, we're going to give $30,000 per child once they return textbooks. The money was already budgeted for every single child. When it comes to allocation of textbooks and printing of textbooks and all of those things, that's a separate matter. It's separate and apart from this $30,000 cash grant. Let us be real about that. The budgetary process needs to be acknowledged at every point in time. You do not take a system right about now and try to complicate it to the point that we're going to be hearing complaints throughout the length and breadth of this country that, oh, this child had owed a textbook, but they get the cash grant. But when I went with my child that owed a textbook or so, I couldn't get the cash grant and all sorts of nonsense. You do not do that. They are separate matters that needs to be dealt with separately.
Yeah, you're penalizing even the child at the expense of the parent. If you had a parent who was complacent enough to maybe misplace, or even the child to misplace the textbook and all of that,
Mhm.
you know.
And a lot, the fact of the matter is, like a lot of the situations that you find, because I'm coming from a background as a teacher myself, and a lot of the cases you would find that with students that have misplaced textbooks and so forth. I know one particular child that came from an extremely abusive home setting. Their father was being extremely abusive to the mother and so forth. All sorts of nonsense. Went home drunk and soaked the whole place with water and all of that nonsense. And the child had textbooks that completely tear up. And so that's a situation that I had to deal with as a teacher. Now there's no provision to deal with that at this level here. You're telling people to, oh, well, you use your conscience, but there is no parameter by which you measure conscience and what is right and what is wrong. So you have to have structured systems in place to deal with it. Guys, what's going on at
Indeed,
your end?
indeed, indeed. You know, today's editorial in Starbucks News, it talks about the oil bonanza we have locally. The header for the editorial is our oil and gas challenges. And it basically says that the problem in Guyana is who got and who got.
Mm-hmm.
And a regime that empowers one side of that divide. That's what the editorial talks about. Right? It ends by saying all of this is by no means disconnected from Guyana's pursuit of a development path that is underpinned, at least for the immediate future, by dependence on the returns from the country's oil and gas sector. We will do well, however, to remain acutely aware that the reality of challenging domestic and external considerations that will have to be navigated if the country's oil and gas resources are to lift us up out of the poverty trap in which we have long been imprisoned.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Challenges domestic, foreign and domestic. And we got a lot to navigate. And again, it is the policies of this current government that is hurting people. The policy, for instance, Rita, of taxing public servants who you have not given any significant increase to since you come in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But taxing them on the little bit they're already earning.
The working class altogether, the bulk of the pressure is being it's been bore on the backs of the working class in the country. That is the fact. I mean, people could take it however they want to take it. That is the fact. And you want to dispute with the data, because I'm yet to see anyone, and we always say we're very proud of that fact, that no one can come and challenge what we say, because we always do it from a statistical standpoint.
Good.
They're very reports that comes out from places like the Bureau Statistics, the Bank of Guyana and so forth. That's what it says. So persons can dare to try the challenge. And I noted that it was the Guyana Chronicle today was trying to do a counter when they were trying to say that VAT and excise tax decreased, by 10.2%. What
Yep,
does
yep,
that
yep.
say to you? What does that say to you?
Let's take a contributor, Drina, and then we come back. A contributor or two. Let's take a contributor or two as we hear. Good people, how y'all doing?
Sherrod, I never even receive a pink slip. When you call them and ask them which I live in Meadowbrook, which area, which day they come into Meadowbrook, they ain't even want to tell you which day they come into Meadowbrook. So I never even receive a pink slip.
Mm-mm-mm. Yep. And the funny thing is, it's not funny, but the sad part is, to let me use the correct word. The sad part is that where the budgetary allocation to cover all the households in Guyana, I mean, there are statistics to deal with the amount of households that needs to be covered and all of that. And at no point in time, when every one of you that have pink slips and who had no slips and that they never touch and all of that, at no point in time are you ever going to hear that they had X amount of savings from from that program that has been returned into the coffer. So where did the money go?
Yep, yep, yep,
Where
yep.
did the money go? So I see folks specifically. I want to go back into this textbook EC right about now. At no point in time are they not going to give some children money because they haven't returned the textbook, and then you see they're going to have returns into the coffer. There will be not 1 cent returned into the coffer. So where will the money go? Wake up, people.
Wake up, we have another contributor.
Good morning, Sherrod. Good morning, Jurita.
Morning, Chief.
It is clear to all Guyanese, especially the Afro-Guyanese community, to the East Indians who don't support PPP, to the Amerindian and all the ethnic groups in Ghana who doesn't support PPP. It is clear that they're using forms and time and all kind of way to get through to them. Now the pink slip issue is that they always show that our promises zone your comfort to the fool. So they're telling others again that you're a fool. No, I'm very sad. It's very sad about the book. Some of the Bostonians and some of the people friendship did. Now these people just don't have time for you. Then they can come through the promises, and they're so their mind thinking is so low that they can sit there and hear Charles Ramson, who told them that they don't have no blacks. He said blacks to use as role model. Now, who role model Charles Thompson could be? He's no good. Now, how could
Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm.
you just say, look, we want games thing and games that, and there's a certain set of people talking about these games, and games cannot develop them in Buxton, and they accept that, and they go away, nowhere to go, and they go away with a long face. You know why? Because they will never get money out of people. Nothing that can raise the standard of living in the community or bring the, the standard in the community we would get from them. And now come to the gun with the boy. I expected that trick to come. I expected that from the Guyana police on the PPP because the person that has the hem of the force is a smart guy. He can work, but I'm gonna tell you something. Under this pressure, he will do anything to stay there. And when they come with that gun that he used, it wasn't working. Well, who was the shooter? Who was the person in the red jersey that was running and shooting? Well, quite clear they're telling us they're going to clear him, but then let's see who's the real shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Guyana Police Force. Come on, Mr. Hicken. Just come and let us know what's going on. Thank you. All this is for us to forget the Sogate matter. Trust me.
Nothing regular. Nothing regular. Jurita. Makes sense?
Yeah, makes total
Mm-hmm,
sense to me,
mm-hmm.
and I want to add, if I could, at this point in time, a piece of reporting that I'm seeing coming off out of Travis Chase there on the very matter, the Quinlan Bacchus matter. And it says there that Lance Corporal Trustin Simon, who was charged with the offense of attempting to obstruct the course of justice in relation to the June 10th fatal shooting of Quindon Bacchus has been remanded to jail. Truston pleaded not guilty to the charge. The court heard that Truston allegedly gave false statements to the police in relation to the death of Bacchus. Truston's lawyer told the court that his client was threatened by ranks of the Special Branch Unit of the Guyana Police Force and that he was instructed not to disclose certain facts in relation to the death of Bacchus, to which his client complied. In remanding him to jail until July 12th, the chief magistrate found that Truston could tamper with witnesses in the case. Very, very damning allegations
Very
there.
interesting.
Very damning allegations there altogether.
Well, this is what the police force looks like under them boys. This is what the police force looks like under them boys. Very interesting, folks. What are your thoughts? We're going to try and get another one, another view. Do we have that?
Good afternoon, Mr. Duncan.
Good afternoon.
ICPP went to Buxton yesterday. My mother's a Buxtonian, but I is not a Buxtonian, but I got the blood in me. I got the blood. About a barn, I'm good as a childhood, everything. But I got the blood in me. I see they went to Buxton and the Minister for Sports bring a tractor. The tractor gonna walk to couple morning and the tractor gonna broke down. And when he talking, they talking about positive thing. They talking about doing thing and giving people thing. You giving people thing. You giving one set of people money. And one set of people money. And the other set of people ain't getting none. So how they really develop in Buxton?
Yeah.
They had protests yesterday in Buxton, and yet still Buxton people got the outreach. And when done, some of them coming out of the outreach in Halibut. Yeah, we went the outreach and this and the when you get a protest, you get a protest when boots supposed to down, boots on the ground. Now some got the protest and some got at the outreach. Then we got the outreach, they must be hungry, make they got the outreach. They must be hungry. You know that a share rushing through Rainbow City, Linden. And I born and going George. Some me mother's a boxer and I is a bantam woman. You know I never collect one day rushing from them. And the day not come to me house and tell me nothing. I tell them, Mr. Duncan, you see, by the time I close me, I am come out. I better come out from his step. I don't like PPP for nothing. And PPP can't get no votes from me. None. And the story with the buy. Just a call the set of give the by justice, just so they must give Isaiah, Joel, Harrison, and Mr. Boston justice. They mustn't give one set people justice. Everybody need justice. And they got to show people that the charge the man. We want to see that the charge and put it in the lock up. The way we want to see. We want here, we want to see. And if they don't do what we say, we gonna come back out on the road again.
I hear you, my sister. I hear you, my sister. But Sheridan, on that very note, one of the things that I want to remind folks is that it was in 2019 and that none other than Barry Jagdeo himself, went and instructed persons, and he repeated it several times that when the coalition government at the time goes to their community for outreach, they should chase them out, That's what he said, chase them out. At no point in time have we ever said that to anyone, and quite the contrary. I always tell people that whatever they're given and distributing, and they're showing up, you show up and you ask them the hard questions, And I want to remind folks that even in Essequibo, which is considered to be one of their strongholds, in 2019, when the coalition government went there, even with the colony instruction from Barjag, they chased them out. The folks there still showed up in their thousands to that particular outreach when government meet the people was there also. So
Correct.
I say that to say when
Correct.
whomever wields the power of government and sit in that seat, persons would always go because they are responsible for to get things done. Persons have issues with land and so forth, and they will go to get those things sorted out. And I know persons went there yesterday, and I said, go, ask the hard questions at every point in time. But yesterday, what was quite interesting, that there were more persons out there on the protest line still than was at that outreach yesterday. I know they put out a little small tent so as to maximize their appearance when it comes to numbers and so forth, But let us be very conscious of those facts as we have it. So I know persons are sometimes we want to be very upset on these matters and so forth, but I always say that every cent that they are spending is taxpayers' dollars, and they have a responsibility to every citizen of this country. So let us not forget that.
Yep.
Gwyneth Anderson, what is going on
Lots
with you?
happening, lots happening, lots happening. You know, Judy, you often talk about equity and what is the other word? The other watch word. That goes hand in hand with that. The equitable distribution, of these things. And it boggles the mind. Is either they don't care, this is the PPP that is, how it look, or they're just tone deaf
Yeah.
how some of it looks.
But on that same point that I was just making there, I want to say also that never conflate and confuse with persons showing up at an outreach
Mm-hmm.
for persons for the PPP making inroads in any community. Never ever do it. And I just
Mm-hmm.
give the example of the fact that even when Bar Jagdi himself, as the then leader of the opposition, told persons to chase them out, the people turned out in their thousands, to the government outreach. Then in 2019, never forget those facts. Don't ever get confused with what that represents and what that means.
Yep. Folks, you're following all of these issues, how things are being shared out. We're following Quinlan Bacchus. We're following so much. Interestingly, I want to alert you guys and alert Jurita to help us in this regard. I saw quite a comment out of Ronald Austin Jr. on Facebook this morning. I thought it was very, very insightful how he has really and truly uh, cautioned us with, somebody being charged because of how history, as Rita was just pointing out, has served us, you know, how history serves us. Right? We gotta be. It's very, 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 very unique. Rita, if you have it there, please. You know, he started with Johansen Douglas, and what happened in that shooting incident by the police. Lest we forget, folks. Lest we forget. Right? Number of things happening on the home front. Lest we forget. Yep. Quinlan Bacchus is still right up there, folks.
Yeah, guys, and I'm looking through the posting page there for Ronald Austin Jr. because I know when it comes to extrajudicial killings, he has been quite an activist over the years. For folks that know, he has been quite an activist over the years when it comes to these matters because he feels very passionately about it. He's always someone to bring that brings perspective and balance to the conversations altogether, not taking any skewed position at all. And I see here as being posted by him is in our struggle for justice for Johansen Douglas, who was executed by rogue cops. We got up to the point of the murder charges. When the marches ended and the cameras were gone, this was the results. The charges of murder and attempted murder was subsequently dropped, while the charge against the individual's colleague was reduced to manslaughter. The jury that found one person guilty of manslaughter and sentenced him to 6 years, and he served 4 years in jail before being freed on appeal. In total, one policeman served 4 years for the brutal murder of a law abiding model citizen, and the system rolls on. That's what's stated there. So he's being he's given a lot of caution right now
Very well.
as to how we look at it.
Yep.
He says one thing to get to the point of getting charges against individuals, but when the cameras are off and the marches ends, the results is not something that we were very proud, that no one was proud of when it comes to the system and the struggle for justice for the death of Johansen Douglas.
Very interesting. To temper the expectation. That's what we were talking about this morning. Don't get excited with the charges. Don't get excited. When you see conviction, you say, hey, right? But folks, let's take another contributor.
Good morning, Sherrod.
Good morning.
I'm sorry. Good afternoon. It's morning in my neck of the woods. I I made this comment on one of the live stream, but I just want to tell you to see how I feel about the minister's outreach in Buxton. I put it to a similar abusive relationship, a woman being abused, and the man gives promises, oh, I'll change, I'll do this, I'll make a life better for you. And then something happens and he returns and the abuse continues. This is what is happening to those people who are holding on to promises from the
Yeah.
PPP.
Yep.
So this is just how I feel.
Yeah.
They make promises and people listen and they fall right back in the trap. So I feel very disturbed. I don't know when it's going to change, but that's just it. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Yep. Watch the promises. Watch the promises. Right? We take another contributor. And we have Marlon Thomas. Marlon is joining us, folks. And we have some others lined up. As soon as we get through this, we'll head to the others.
Hi, Sharon and Unity. Good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon to all
Good
the
day,
listeners,
Marlon.
viewers, whatever. Anyways, let me tell you something about this pink slip. You have thousands of people in Region 10 that still got pink slips. You have thousands of people that have never received a pink slip, nor anybody going to their house to find out nothing. So this pink slip thing is just a puppy show and making people a fool. And let me tell you something, I can talk broken English now. My fellow brothers and sisters need to wake up. Stop sleeping. Because regardless of whatever, whether they jump ship, they jump ship, the PPP has no regards or respect for Afro Guyanese. Whatever they got to share, I can tell you, collect it. At the end of the day, where you have go behind the box for put on your phone, they put on your eyes. Because the PPP ain't got no time with you. And as for them books who are talking about Kerba, you watch and see in the areas where the supporters live in, nobody ain't got a book for Kerba, but they can get their money. So I am saying, what goes to one goes to all. Everybody must collect the money. Next, I appreciate the turnout from the protest yesterday, but there should have been more people. And secondly, that protest was being advertised in over 2 weeks or how much now. But the PPP so damn disrespectful and bloody well ice past Afro Guyanese that they choose to try a distraction to go into Buxton yesterday to keep outreach. The Buxton people should have chased them out. And they just make themselves low to go and accept ball and grass cutter. They're trying to show them that is what that is what they're worth. Of hamper and grass cutter and ball. We people need to wake up and stop doing stupidness. I can talk another day concerning Quinton Bacchus story with Sunil Prasad and the assistant superintendent Ramatar. Who was sergeant and get was inspector and get promoted. We can talk about on another level anyways later.
All right. Thanks for that. True that. Mm-hmm.
Persons are very aware,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting that people would even know, when they complicate the systems, that's what happened. And that column may be very well right. Areas that they have their strongholds and support base, and so persons may be able to get away with murder there when it comes to returning of textbooks and so forth, whilst other area, the Read the Riot Act as it is being announced right now.
Yep. Lots to get through on that front, folks. Let's take a listen. quite a number of voice notes here.
Yeah, Sharon. This pink slip thing, this
We had
thing
this
is a
one.
flumbery.
Yes, we had this one. Apologies there. We had that one already.
Yeah, Sharon. Guyanese should expect nothing better or no confidence in the
Yep, yep.
Guyana police force as long as of the corrupt man who acted as commissioner. Because if the head of the force corrupt, the whole bottom of the force gonna be corrupt. So we Guyanese should expect better because we seen every day what's going on and nobody won't have confidence in the Guyana police force. And now the facts revealing every single day, the wicked things that these installed with, every day keep revealing and repeating itself all the time.
Correct, correct,
How
correct,
they know
correct.
these installed people?
Correct, correct, correct. Folks, some very concise notes would help us so this episode to be a little efficient. What?
Sharon,
Talk me
I
to
am
it.
saying, right, if the police are not doing their work, the citizens can do their work. I think if, just my take, I'm not promoting violence, but I am saying if the citizens, the youth, especially in Guyana, get a hold of one of them police officer and surround him and make him confess, you don't have to get violent. I'm not promoting violence, but if you do such thing, you would send a clear message to the police force that your ranks can't get away with it. You can't be judge and jury for your ranks them. So if the youths of Guyana make a citizen arrest the police, make a citizen arrest and arrest any one of them police officer that involved in that boy shooting, and send a clear message to the police officer, to the head of the police and the government that we not tolerate this nonsense anymore. I bet you crime would disappear in Guyana from the police. Brutality for the police would disappear.
All right, let's take another contributor, folks.
Hi, my brother Sharon. That's a good day to you and my sister Jurita.
Good day, good day.
This PPP party, these people have no shame. These people ain't got conscience. These people ain't got, I don't know how, I don't know what to say. But these people don't have no dignity in them.
Mm-hmm.
These people is not for Guyana. These people is not for Guyana. And the thing about the foreigners, the foreign minds, and so they are not for Guyana neither. They don't care what's going on. So for them to care and for the attention to draw, people got to get serious. People got to get serious. Why is the concern come out? This is from certain things with them. Look how these people so petty. Look how these people so petty. And let me tell you, you see the Prime Minister Mark Phillips as an
Tell us.
Afro-Guyanese, Clifton Hickens as an Afro-Guyanese. I'm not a racial person. We come from racial background. You know, Sherrod, we Linden people. We got all the races.
Talk things,
We
talk
could
things.
go on and perform in all way with racism and then we blood because we from Linden. But Hickens and the Prime Minister and all the Afro-Guyanese ministers in that party, except Kwame Mukai. You got to put that one side. Don't make it. But let me tell you, Mark Phillips and these people, they sick my stomach so much. Sick my stomach. I tell you. Look what's being said against Afro-Guyanese. And this is not saying racism, but look what is being said. You see when you see them boys with the talk and that kind of thing. These Indians, our Indian brothers and sisters, I mean, they got I ain't I ain't got no hatred for none. But look what's going on from the party standpoint. Look how they're standing up. Look how they're standing up. Look, you see what happened inside by the market there. The president rich, Vindia rich, and thing. The Afro-Guyanese crying out for this injustice. And so on Mark Phillips just sits. I don't know what to say, my brother. Mark Phillips not a word to
Disappointed,
say,
yeah.
man.
Yep.
I'm Afro-Guyanese too, and I don't like this what going on, Mr. President leaves as my boss or whosoever, I don't like this what going on. Clifton Hickins won't say that, man, I'm Afro Guyanese too, and we notice that I can't do this. They would rather know the recute little Afro Guyanese buys them the little dons, thugs them to perform just for a few dollars more. It is so sad. So sad, my brother. So sad. And then look what these people gonna do. They know that Buxton had a protest. Buxton had a protest on like a racial protest. Buxton had a protest for injustice, and any race was welcome there. For injustice, for inequality, for better standard of living, and all these kind of things.
Correct is
Imagine
right.
Clifton Hickins gonna put out a news that it is illegal to have protests there, all because you know the president or whosoever them they say that, and then when they finish, go, this is how people be so petty, they're so childish and petty. Imagine on the day all of a sudden they plan outreach, reach inside there, and then what they do, leave a tractor and a basketball and a football net and Buxtonians, some Buxtonians whosoever be in there, go there and sit down and accept that. Nothing wrong going there and sit down and listen to them, but then where were the voices? Where were the voices? You know, me would tell me Odinga Lubumbo as an Afro Guyanese Buxtonian on a louder from to people all because he got affiliations, he's affiliated with the party. It's a shame, my brother. It's a shame with these people. I hope they're listening. I hope they're listening to know. I know that they might take the hell with whosoever talking or F whosoever talking or whatsoever. But let me tell you, the cries of the people would be on y'all backs all the time. Y'all would never live in comfort. Y'all will never live in comfort. I ain't preaching no violence on them thing. But as a man, so you gonna reap, you know. You allowing these people to do these things to your own villagers and you got nothing to say to you to your people or you type of people and you got nothing to say. It is real sad. Real sad with what going on in the country. It is very sad with what going on.
Hear you, my brother. We hear you. We hear you. We hear you there. Yep, yep, yep. We hear you. Jarida, people full. People full.
And that is correct, and I have to say that the sentiments of the folks out there, I'm so impressed by the wealth of knowledge and understanding that comes from every contributor. I'm very, very proud of the information that you guys have received and you are continuing to make good use of.
They say the voice of the people is the voice of God.
Yeah.
Right? We can take another contributor, folks. We can take another. We got about two more we want to get through. We want about two more we're gonna get through. It's good to hear from you, the people. So others know we making up this thing. That other folks share the same sentiment. They don't like what's happening. We don't like what's happening. Right? We don't like it. Folks, apologies if we can't take a call now. Leave us a voice note. We'll be certain to play. Yep.
Sharad, good afternoon. Good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, listeners. Now, PPP are doing everything in their powers to make sure that black people punish in this country. Now, I say that to say this. That pink slip was just given out as a front. They're giving cash to other people, which, like the caller rightfully stated, their people, and giving us pink slip. I remember when they had that $25,000 for household. When they did not give, they went to places that once black people live in there, and it's a rented apartment or rented house. They're only giving money to the landlord.
The owner,
They're
yep.
not giving money to every other person, just the landlord. Now, I know a friend that lives in Enmore. They live in an apartment building as well. But that household was given money separately. Everybody in that yard got money. I think it was an apartment of 4 people and they all had money. So I saying all of that to say that these people know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to make sure that the black people of Guyana punish only the black people, and it's not acceptable. Black people need to hold one head, at least for once, hold one head in that country and keep pushing. Keep pushing, keep the fire, keep the fire, keep the fire under the pots. Or I should say under that empty cup that PPP have there. Now let's talk about Quindon Bacchus. Now they're saying that now these two officers that was jointly charged with the murderer, they're now saying that those two officers, one is saying that he was told what to say in his statement, and the other one is saying that his gun was not used. Now, I look at it as a cover up. They're just trying to make everything look good when we all know that the guy in the police force corrupt. We already know this was what was going to come out. But again, let's look and see. But is Guyana we talking about? So let's just pray and hope that we get some kind of justice. We know Quindon is gonna go. Not Quindon. That boy already dead. R.I.P. to him. We know that fool is gonna go to jail for murder. But then my question is, murder is a bailable offense, so it's
Mm-hmm.
more likely he can go on bail.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can kind of hear back nothing about the case. It's gonna be another black family lose their loved ones to the hands of the Guyana police force because of the corrupt Guyana police force.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, we got to continue the fire under that empty cup. Have a wonderful day, guys. Only complicating the system for black people. The system is only being complicated by PPP for black people. They mean to punish black people. If we're going to talk about oil, Guyana, with the rate that we're going to be one of the oil cursed nation.
Mm-hmm.
Guyana
Mm-hmm.
have a whole lot of oil and the people are punishing. Oil cursed.
Mm-hmm. We hear you. We hear you. Thanks for that call.
Thank you so much for that call.
Sorry,
Indeed.
we can't take some folks are ringing us. Sorry, we can't take those calls. You know how it is. It's really a lot there. A lot there. We got so much work to do. So much work we gotta do. So much work we got to do. Right? We got two more contributions you want you guys to give a listening ear to.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that my thoughts here. The only time the government can change the ways of the policy and the wicked and vindictive behavior is if we see the Indians come out that don't support their wickedness, and they start coming out in solidarity with the black folks. That's the only way Guyana is going to change, when the Indians start coming out. So when you guys have protests, you got to invite all the Indians that don't support the PPP,
Mm-hmm.
even invite the ones that support the PPP,
Mm-hmm. We hear you, my
even
brother. We hear
invite
you.
them. So what I'm saying, these are the thing, the message you guys got to get out there, and protect those Indian people that coming out there, make sure they okay, and treat them well. You understand? And you see how it's going to change. It's going to change in Guyana. The whole political landscape is going to change. You understand? So you guys got to start inviting the Indians. And once the Indians start coming out and protesting with you guys peacefully, I always promote peaceful protests. Once the Indians start joining, and the indigenous people and other mixed race, boy, oh boy, PPP know they're in trouble. Then that's when they can know they're in trouble.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We hear you there. Thanks for the contribution. We got two more we want to pay for. We want you guys to hear. Two more. We want to thank all those who contributed. We would love to hear from you guys. Love to hear from you guys. Love, love, love to hear from you guys.
Good afternoon,
Good
Sharon.
afternoon. Good afternoon. Sorry, we can't take any calls right
I'm
now.
not sure which of your programs you played is applicable to what topic you're discussing, but I have a few questions I'd like to ask. Please, one, I would like you to unpack exactly what was given tangibly to the people of Buxton yesterday. Food stuff, cash, equipment. I would like you to unpack that for us, please. Secondly, I'd like to ask, how effective are the promises of the Prime Minister? Because if I'm correct, it's the region that looks after the development, and I saw no region for officials there, including the regional chairman. So I'm wondering how effective will be the promises made, especially for jobs for those villages and for the roads to the back dam, because there were a lot of single parents
Mhm.
who really reached out about the hardships that they're going through, especially some of them have little farms. And even
Mhm.
to get their things out, there is no road. They cannot, the back dams, they cannot even get in there. So even to be able to generate a little income for themselves is no longer possible. So I'd like for you to explain that, unpack that for us. Let the people of Buxton know, and even to temper their expectations, because you see, this is what happened. In a flurry, promises are made. What will be the follow through? Who is going to coordinate? Many of those persons at that outreach, Sherrod, you and I would know, and I say this very respectfully, they're willing, but do they have the necessary management skills and organizational skills to look after themselves? Who will look after these things? So that's why we need the region office and the necessary organizations that are put there by law to help, really to help these people. My heart goes out to the people when I saw them sitting there. Look, I don't condemn the people who went to the outreach, because Sherrod, people are in need in this country.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
but what did they get?
Mhm.
What really did they get will be a clear indication
Yeah,
of whether the
yeah.
government was serious or whether it was not serious. Hello, good day, Sheridan Jarita. Well, let me tell you myself and my husband's experience with this COVID relief. He is of another race. I want to be very politically correct with my use of language because we're, live. And his family and parents own the property in Providence, and there are two houses in this yard, the original family home and the brother's home. This family got mother get, father get, the grandmother get, and the brother's family get, all carrying one surname. Now, myself and my husband don't live there, and where we're living, we rent, and they told us we were ineligible.
Wow.
Yep,
Wow.
thank you very much. So we never got any pink slips. We're renters, both of us. We even talked with the team, but they were very hostile. By the time they got around, because we live in Georgia, by the time they got around to our area, you were hearing things like you got to give if you give them a 5,000, then of the 25, they will give you 20. We never offered anything. We
Mhm.
never got anything.
Mhm.
They told us we were just ineligible, turned and left the yard.
Wow. Wow. Treaty, you want to comment on that? I know there's some of you following up very keenly.
No, I have been saying it. Those are the things we need to be looking at. And when you see they go out there and we go to a process of budgeting at the level of the National Assembly, and budgets are being made, and monies are being allocated for persons, there are never any course of condition and conditionalities that needs to be met in order for folks to receive that. But when they leave that process and they leave that system and they go before the press and it sounds all nice that every household is going to be given $25,000 and all of that, when the rubber hits the road and the actual distribution mechanism is tested, when they add the complexities and the conditionalities to the system altogether, what you're left with is a completely corrupt system in which their friends and family and favorite basically steals the money that should be given to folks and do their own thing. And that's why I'm saying again, when it comes to the the textbooks having to be returned for the money for the school children, monies that were already allocated. When persons try to put complexity and conditionality to those systems, they're creating a system for
Yeah.
corruption. And
Yeah.
at the end of it, no money will be saved. If they say 200 children didn't receive textbooks or 200 children didn't get the money, not 1 cent will be returned to the coffers to be put to anything else. It will go into somebody's pockets. We have to fight those systems and we have to call them out.
Yep.
Sherrod, good afternoon. And Jarita,
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that, folks. Yep, that's the reality of it. That's the reality Julia's just outlined for us. That's the reality of the system we're dealing with. Right? There's no way to sugarcoat it, to go wrong it.
We got to be smart. We have to be proactive in these things. Don't wait until it happens and the corruption starts to say, oh, if we did only know. We have to be proactive in calling them out for this nonsense. It was tested and proven a failure with the COVID-19 cash grant and the distribution mechanism that was utilized therein. It was failed. It was a failure altogether. And we need not forget, lest we forget,
Yep,
we
and
go
I'm
into the same thing
surprised that
again.
Guyana Spectator condoning these kinds of
Well, I'm not
actions.
surprised we can't
Right?
expect it.
Very surprised. Right, Kwame? Very surprised.
For all the folks that got a pink slip, ask where the money was. Ask how much money was returned to the coffers. Not 1 cent.
Yep.
Not 1 cent.
Yep. That's signed up for somebody already.
Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Jarita. Good afternoon.
Good
Can you
afternoon.
give me an update on the man that they arrested for saying that he would kill the president? Is he out or is he still locked up? And what about Imran?
Well, nothing happened to
Another
Imran.
thing, Cheryl, can you tell me if there is any video of persons looting the Moneypool market? I saw they put up videos with people riding away with this and riding away with that, but I haven't seen any video with the exact looting of the market when they were in the market doing this looting. Can you see if any video is out? If it is, can you put it up so that I can see it?
Yep.
I do, and I know that question is one that is being asked a lot right now on social media for any video of persons looting the market. But I do know that the only video that has been circulating thus far is that what persons are calling residents of Monrepo actually saying to throw fuel on a bus so that and so that it you can further ignite
Bring the
the
gas,
flames.
bring the gas.
So that's the only video that we have been seeing
Sadly.
thus far.
Sadly. I've heard nothing about the release of the gentleman who would have threatened the life of your friend Ali, and I know for certain that nothing will come of the Ibran Sitar issue and the other fellow, Navindra, what's his name, who uttered all of those despicable racial things
No
on
condemnation.
those live videos. All right, no condemnation has come from the PP, and so I doubt any of that will have any bearing going forward. That's how it is. It's just how it is, folks. Sad to say, but that's how the PP processes these things. Some people get the whole book thrown at them. Others, not so much. Not so much. Right? But we found these event guys, and we're gonna have things here for you live and direct. I think we've touched all the voice notes we can, but I think there's one that's outstanding. We'll make sure I play this one. I want a problem with people from Scotland. Right? So thanks for all the voice notes, folks. We're on the last one. Right? Let me see. Somebody says I missed theirs. Let me see. Circle back to this one. Or I missed you indeed. Hold on.
pleasant afternoon to you too. Cheryl, that was a situation and a half. That same distribution of that money. In my case, I had to wait 2 days and have to keep reminding them I'm here. When they pass in, I'm here. And then one day, I had to stand up when they were going through the street and say, man, what happened? You're going to house 2 and I'm house 1 and I'm left here. Then they said, okay, we coming back. And after looking after house 2, then they came back to me.
My.
And on that very day, I called my niece who was working in Georgetown because I'm living in Region 3. I called my niece who was working in Georgetown and said, girl, they're sharing the money because she's a single parent with 2 children. So she left work and came only to find to say when they got to her, they said the money finished and they're coming back tomorrow. She took the next day off and they never came back.
Mhm.
About 2 days after, they passed through her street, but she had to go to work. She could not have stayed home any longer. So they did her street and she was not at home. Anyway, the Saturday they came, and so I saw them passing through. So I called her. I said, you know what? They passed through here and they're down the road. So she went out to them about 2 corners away and told them, man, I wasn't there when y'all passed my street. The first question they asked her, you look so small, you got 2 children? She said, yes,
Wow.
I'm a mother of 2.
That's their business.
Where you live in? So she told them, direct them where we passed there already. And we can't distribute money on the road. We gonna come back. On today, like today, that girl never got the cash grant. One day somebody said, you know what? They're distributing money at the NDC office. When she ran there, they said, no, we ain't distributing money at the NDC office. We coming at homes. Till day like today, she haven't got a pink slip. She haven't got any money. And on the other hand, I know about people, my daughter friend told all of us that everyone in their house got money. All they had to do was bring out the ID card. Of course, it would be another ethnicity, but that's the way that money was distributed. And it's not only in our location, our village, it's in other
Yeah.
villages too. It's
Yeah.
recorded by people.
And replicated
So
thousands
this
of
thing was
times.
a whole gimmick to give who they wanted to give that money to. And anything coming under that same cash grant system, it will always be corruption because it's a corrupt set of people doing corrupt and illegal things with that money. A set of vagabonds and scamps, according to you, Cheryl. Cheryl, let me tell you, sorry for double dipping, but one thing I think it was orchestrated because they know most people in the African household, they work out of the homes. And a lot of Indian people would be at home because they're doing businesses mostly at home. Very few would be out. So they decided that they're going to distribute this thing by household coming to each person's home. Well, lots of Africans, they're not home in the day until evening. So I think it was a premeditated way of distributing the cash grant to their people because most of them work from inside the home.
Yep, there it is, folks. There it is. Do we have it all now? I want. Folks,
I
we've got
I
Hello,
way
think
hello,
beyond
we
the
should.
time.
Siva. Good day.
Good
Good
afternoon,
day to you too.
Candy.
Hope you
Gone way
guys are
beyond
having a
our time.
fantastic day. Anyways, my contribution today is the president's air flap alley is blatantly showing
Mm-hmm.
his true colors of
Mm-hmm.
discrimination, racial discrimination. The PPP is showing their true colors of how racial they are. We are seeing it now more clear, crystal clear. It is very transparent that we're seeing the racial discrimination in this PPP cabal, and we see now that they clearly do not like black people. They have a problem with the black people, and they're gonna go to all measures to put the black people down. And the PPP, what I'm saying, the PPP stands for punishing poor people constantly, or you could use it as punish poor people and children at the same time. That's what I'm seeing, and they don't have no
Mm-hmm.
shame. Afrit
None.
Ali is going to the Indian community and giving them comfort, and they lost a couple of material things that can be easily replaced. Mr. Bacchus lost his life. Can they replace a life? Can a life be replaced
Never.
in any way?
Never.
So they have no shame. They should have at least go to the people and say, what is necessary. At least show your face, show the condolences to the people, give the people comfort, give the people justice. We don't have no equality in this country. There's no equality, there's no peace, there's no justice. The the PP has taken all of that away from us. We have no peace in this country. And there are a pack of incompetent delinquents, fool in that regime there. And they're just destroying this country day by day. And I need to, I need people to come out more. Shall I say kudos to the protest in Boston yesterday. I
Excuse me.
regret so much that I couldn't make it, but I'm sorry. Next time I'll make up for that.
All right, all
Anyway,
right.
Sherrod, that's my contribution today. Have a
Thanks
good day,
very much.
Denisha, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
Thanks very much for that.
I beg to disagree with our caller. When the Indians are gonna come out to support, I beg to disagree. What is gonna happen? Those few Indian peoples that are going to come out to support with solidarity with black people, they are going to punish because they're going to be bombarded in their own communities.
But why that has to be? I don't
And
understand that.
they will be
You
living
know?
in and more, and they're gonna come go and get stuff from the shop. So
And
I
there's
want to
something
say
very
yes, but
wrong
I
with
don't
that.
agree with that caller.
I
And the
understand
reason
what
why I
sister
can
saying.
say that is because I know of a friend that was put out. She get put out from her house for 1 month. She was at my house when PPP lost the election in 2015. That young lady, she voted for AFC, not PNC. She voted for AFC, but remember the party would have collated, and that young lady got put out. Come on, don't do the and then the question was asked, how they know she voted? It was three of them was supposed to vote for AFC. However, two persons backed out, and they said that they had, I think, was two votes from I don't want to call the village because a few people know the story very well. But they said only two persons voted for the
Could
coalition
you imagine where we
in this
are?
particular
You
area.
know, right?
And then I was there the day when the girl said to me, are you win? Black man win, what you do ya? Go on, are you win the election? So I said, no, Guyana won the election, not me.
Yeah.
Guyana won.
Yeah.
My friend got put out. I could say that. So I don't agree with that. I agree with the caller partially, but then, like I said, they're gonna punish. The few people that support us from around there are going to punish. Yes, and we can't really do much for them. So I don't agree with that call.
Well, I hear what my sister's saying clearly, but the fact that that's the kind of country we're living in, right? Um, enabling that by not going to a protest, you still got a problem. If because of who you supporting getting you put out of the house, you understand where we are? Huh? Might as well we keep a class system, the Madras, the whoever, the Chatri, and whoever else. Because that is as dangerous and as backward as that. Right? Might as well we keep people who sick in one particular area, lock them away like lepers or something like that.
Very
That's how
strict
dangerous that
system.
is. Right? You can imagine you're at a level where people looking to see who in the community vote for somebody else. Oh, these two votes belong to that house down there. It's them. Shun them from the village. Right? And in the Constitution, got enshrined in there that you're supposed to be protected as citizens for your political belief. Huh? But it's not like saying one Guyana, one Guyana, one Guyana. Right? One Guyana, one Guyana, one Guyana. Folks, we got two more, and then again, folks are still sending. Let us be the final two guys. Please and thank you. We gotta go and start for the evening. But good to have each and every one of you here, guys. You all see what happened in here? Right, but I'm happy my sister shared that. I'm very happy.
Hi Sharon, good day. I tried to find out when we will hear the election petition because I just wanted people out from there.
Everybody want them up, but they're not alone. We're giving updates of that though. Soon as I know it's mid-July here, they're supposed to be deciding the one at they begin hearing the one at the CCG, and a date hasn't been set at the local court of appeal as yet.
Sherrod, she don't understand the message you have to send. You have to make sacrifices. That's the only way you're going to get change.
Yeah,
Look at Martin Luther King and all of that.
yeah,
Those guys made sacrifices. They knew they was going to be victimized and this and that. But you got to make that sacrifice. That's the only way the change is going to come. When we go, if we stay home in the house and no go out, we think the PPP is going to win. So she's wrong about that. The Indian has to participate in this fight.
yep. All are involved and all are consumed. Trudy, as we wrap up, guys, as we wrap up, lest we forget, folks, lest we forget, a lot of people still holding pink slips, false promises. That's what this government good for. A lot of people still holding false promises.
I think one of the takeaway that I need everyone to get is that
No, but hear what Indrani says here. You know, it goes to show how immature the government officials are and people in Guyana. Why put out someone for their beliefs?
correct.
You know, it's madness.
Backward as backward can be. You know, society as backward can be.
Yes. And them is the things we gotta fight against. That madness, that mentality. That is that's the mentality folks like Imran gonna have. Right? That's the kind of mentality. Put them out because you got a different belief system. That's dangerous. Dangerous.
But even so, I think what's more dangerous there is to even have a system in which people can say that where you voted and who you voted for. I think that is the most dangerous. You know, our system of voting is it's secret ballot. You know? So for persons to assume from a particular area who voted where, that alone, you know, it's crazy.
That's madness. Folks, that's our time. That's our program. We can be back this evening, folks. Fired up, ready to go in the ring. Thanks for joining us. If it's Tuesday, you know, it's lest we forget. Today is the pink slips and the cash grants. We still hold on to false promises. The question is asked, what did the people of Buxton get from that outreach yesterday? 9 ministers to give one, what do you call that? Lawnmower.
A lawnmower and a basketball hoop.
And a basketball hoop. 9 ministers. Right? And millions and billions sharing out elsewhere and being stolen and siphoned up. Wicked, corrupt PPP. Wicked and corrupt. That's my time, folks. Smash that emoji button. Share the live. Partner with us, folks. We're available on Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, MMG, MoneyGram, Western Union as well. Thanks for being here, folks. We're going to see you guys in a couple hours. Get some rest. Head back to work. Enjoy lunch. Whatever you're doing, folks, be safe. Be safe. Drita has the final word.
Well, guys, you know, one of the things that one of the takeaways that I want you guys to have, what the discussions we've been having, your own experiences that you've been sharing, is that the takeaway that we're going to have for today is that whenever it comes to any system of cash grant under the current administration, the distribution mechanism is always set up in a way that corruption will be. It always is set up in a way to breed corruption, and because of that, we need to be very vigilant in our undertaking when we go out there to actually receive these monies, and we need to document very carefully and expose the people for who they are when it comes to this system.
Have a great afternoon, folks.
Have a good day, guys.
Stay safe. Susan Washington, Yvonne Ramasar, Glycis Mingo Byrne, Patricia Kissoon, and Vincent and Marilyn Thomas. Have a great day, folks. See you guys in a couple hours. Stay safe.